Hey there everyone, it's Thakard, and welcome back to another patch analysis video for Heroes and Generals. So today, we're going over the brand new patch that TLM, formerly Reto, has brought us. Today is the 23rd of February 2022, and for some reason our patches no longer have numbers. Why? I don't know. Numbers were a Reto thing. TLM doesn't like numbers. They like titles. So today, we are doing the changelog Watermill Crossing. All right, so let's kick over, read some of these patch notes, and then I will show you some of the more important stuff in game. So let's get to it. The changelog Watermill Crossing. As I said, today is the 23rd of February 2022. Watermill Crossing reworked E4 capture point on the town map. Added more cover between E-line and the bridge. Capture point moved from across the river, so the capture point is now on the attacker side of the river. And they have added Watermill as capture point. Now, Watermill just sounds like a thing. And in fact, it is a brand new, large building. This is a 3-story building with multiple rooms, a giant outer area, and an enclosing wall. It also links directly to the former E4 capture point via a wooden bridge. So, it's actually pretty cool. I'll give you a couple more views of that in-game just after bed. Alright, up next, we have additional paint jobs for a couple of vehicles. We have the BA64B, the 250, the 251, the M3A1 US version, the M3A1 Soviet version, the IS-2, the Tiger 2, the M26 Pershing, the M18 Hellcat, the Su-85, and the Stug 3. Now I'll give you a peek of these in-game, except for the BA64B, because that's one of the few vehicles in the game that I do not yet own. Alright, up next, we have a frame rate limiter. Cap your frames, cap your FPS. Now, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't think I've ever run into a person who needs their frame rates limited in this game. What most people request is to get better frame rates, not to limit those frame rates. So hopefully what this is them saying is, guys, just don't worry. We're doing a patch really soon, and it's gonna like fix all the frame rates issues so much that you're gonna have to use that limiter that we put in last time. Or at least that's my hope. So yes, frame rate limiter. Has a dev note: if both the VSync and the limiting is enabled, then the lower of the two values are used. I don't think this one is going to get much use out of anybody. Alright, bug fixes. Vehicles are now draggable out of the depot. Added an unlockable state to the depot list. Added a label for captured weapons in the depot. Improved depot sorting. There's a dev note here. The order is now, this is the order in which things are sorted, unlocked. Unlocked with missing parent item. Locked items. Locked items with missing, or locked with missing item. Incompatible. And then all of these different categories will be then sorted alphabetically for all your weapons and items and tools. Alright, attempts to fix soldier XP boosters no longer count down during server maintenance. What I'm assuming this means is that if people were using the XP boosters and the server went down, say you had, out of your 4-hour timer, you still had 2 hours left. When you would log back in, your 2 hours would have expired. So that kind of sucks. And I'm glad that they are attempting to fix that. Alright, they improved the depot UI. They have added an arrow to item info overlay indicating the selected item in the depot list. They fixed 2 bugs that caused ribbon requirements to be shown in the item info overlay when they should not have been. They fixed a bug that caused depot sorting to change or break on clicking. They improved back-end operations of items for the depot. They fixed new item counter. And they now allow secondary vehicle weapons to be reloaded when the primary weapon does not yet need to be. Alright, so a lot of little bugs that have been fixed for the UI of the depot and how the depot's done. Cool. In my opinion, worthless frame rate limiter. Paint jobs, always awesome. And then the big one, the reworked E4 capture point on town map. Alright, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to go back in the game and I'm going to show you some of the interesting things about the E4 capture point itself, and I'll also show you all of these new paint jobs as well. First off, we're going to be talking about the paint jobs. Now, I'm not going to be showing off the BA64B because it's one of the rare vehicles that I actually do not own yet. So the Germans have 4 vehicles that are getting new paint jobs. They are the 250, the 251, the Stug 3, and the Tiger 2. All 3 of those will be receiving the red oxide primers paint skin and the gray and brown paint skin. The Americans have 3 vehicles that will be receiving new paint skins. Those are the M3A1, the M18 Hellcat, and the M26 Persian. All 3 of those vehicles will be receiving the lusterless olive drab skin and the gloss olive drab enamel. Lastly, the Soviets have 4 vehicles that are being updated with new paint jobs. Those are the BA-64, the M3A1, the Su-85, and the IS-2. All 4 of those vehicles will be getting the light green 4VO skin and the unpainted metal skin. Alright, first off, let's discuss some of the changes that have happened to old E4 capture point. Obviously, the main difference is there is now a bridge that connects it to the new capture point through what used to be the solid retaining wall. There are a couple of other things over here. Primarily, this change in the form of the land in front of the E4 spawn. There's now a little peninsula that juts out with several trees for cover. I have to say, it looks gorgeous. This is where you sit to have your picnic when you're not being shot at. All right. And the only thing that I've found different are two last things. They have removed the tank trap to allow for clearer access with vehicles and tanks themselves. It is super easy to get any tank through here. And then as we cross over the water through the old crossing, they have added some more cover along this edge here just for a little bit more protection. The bridge itself provides quite a bit of protection, which is quite nice as well. All right, now we get to discuss the new E4 capture point. We're going to take a stroll across this wooden bridge. Obviously has chunky wood, so it gives you a little bit of cover when you cross. You have the water wheel here. I wish it moved, but I'll take it. And then this walkway continues around the side of the building and into the front courtyard. On this side, you have a single entrance into the lower floor of the side room building here. And you have a set of stairs going into the second floor and a door going into the bottom of the mill itself. If we go into the bottom here, we will see that we have a series of stairs that will allow us to go to the middle floor and the top floor. And then down here, there is some gears and a doorway to the connecting building. This is that first doorway we talked about here, and this is the first story of this building. Have a little bit of cover here to be able to watch the windows and the door. Very tight choke point between this room and the main mill area, so watch out as you're trying to get through there. Also be careful of people right above you when you cross over into this area over here. Now, for some reason, as we come up the stairs here, to get to these other stairs, we have to hop these railings. I don't know why they have railings here. You have to crouch jump them. I kind of hope that they get rid of those railings so it's easier to cut across. And then we'll come up to the third story. Take a look at it really quick. Third story, several windows, a couple boxes on the edges here. Not much in the way of cover, but it does have a secondary staircase back down to the middle level. Now over here we have quite a bit of cover with boxes, and you also have a little bit cover with the grinding mill itself. Alright, so here we are on the third story, which is the top story of the main mill building. And we are going to take a look at some of the vantage points out of these windows up here. First off, we have a single window that is facing, it's on the north side of the building, it's kind of on the northwest corner. And this looks down into the courtyard below. It looks up at the E3 approach. And then it also allows you to look upriver for all those pesky snipers hiding in the bushes or just behind trees. Now if we come around the corner here, these windows themselves are completely blocked off. So the windows looking due west up the hill towards E3 cannot be used. We have another window here that will allow you to peer out to the north along the river's edge. Take a look at some more snipers in their bushes. Now we come over here and we are now looking at what used to be old E4 along the up the river, so we can see down towards the other crossing for all those guys hiding in the bushes, and we can see into old E4 cap point as well. This window is very similar in the view that it gives you, except for one major thing. This one allows you to peer directly down the entire length of the wooden bridge. It has not quite as much view of the side crossing, and the building itself blocks most of the other area over there, but this is perfect for watching this bridge connector itself. Lastly, on this side of the building, we have this window right here, and this window will allow us to watch E4, the old E4 primarily, and a little portion of the bridge, even though, although it is not directly in line with it. And we can also see a little bit over towards the D bridge as well, including the new peninsula area in front of E4 spawn. Next up, we're going to be looking at the windows on the south face of the building. These all face the D bridge, and both of these are rather similar. They both give you a view of the approach from the attackers to a D4, and they allow you to see pretty much the entire length of the bridge, and this one allows you to see a little bit more of that peninsula right in front of E4 if you hug this wall. Those are all the windows now on the 3rd story. So we will go down to the main floor. This is the 2nd story. Now over here, unlike above where these windows were all blocked off, these windows do allow you to peer into the courtyard itself. They both are rather similar to each other. This one's a little closer to the wall and allows you to guard the stairs itself. And then this one allows you to guard the boxes, the approach, and look at this opening right here as well, that doorway. On the southeast side of the building, we have a window that allows you to watch the top of the stairs from the, this is the top of the stairs from the bridge, and the little, not porch, but little path that goes around the side. This window gives you a view over the water wheel itself into old C4, or C4, old E4, pardon me. And then this window here allows you a slightly lower view of the D4 bridge, but also allows you to see the water down here. And then there's one more window right over here, and it allows you to see pretty much the same thing, but you have some cover from the opposing sides. Alright, we'll drop down another level. Now this level of the main building, which is the mill itself, does not have any windows. It does have a doorway here that you can guard out of, but this connects to the side building. And in the side building we have 4 windows on this side, all allowing you to watch pretty much just the water of D4 Bridge, because they'll be higher above you and peering down at you, so it's not the greatest place for you to be watching up at D4. But if you're trying to watch for people coming down, say the side of the bridge here, down this edge here, or trying to swim across, it's actually quite nice. And then on the north side of the building, there are 2 sets of windows on either side of the door, which allow you to peer into the courtyard, as well as look up the riverbank itself for those sneaky snipers. Alright, so we have come back outside here. We're on the little path that goes around the side, comes down the stairs here, wraps around the building. On the outside, we have a retaining wall, just like on old E4. We have several boxes here for cover. We have several boxes here for cover as well. And then we immediately have a stone wall that goes the length of this little courtyard, as well as a tank trap. Now further out, several trees coming up the hill here, and we also have this wall along here. This wall cannot be hopped over from the outside without jumping off of an object. But if you are defending or on the inside here, you do have this stack of wood here, which will allow you to either peer or use it as cover to watch the D-line attacker approach towards the D4 spawn area, or back up the hill, peering all the way into E3 itself. You can actually see the window on the 2nd story of E3 right over there. In the courtyard itself, we have 2 bicycles for use. The ammo crate is in front of the doorway to the bottom of the side building, and the Panzerfaust crate is located at the doorway to the bottom of the mill itself. Up next, we'll take a look at some of the defensive approaches towards E4. We still have the crossing as we did before. As I said, it has a little bit more cover, although it does not have any more cover facing towards the outside so you can still get shot by those people coming in from E3. Obviously, you have the bridge here. It has a decent amount of cover on either side, but I'd move fast if I were you. Outside of crossing the bridge and wrapping around the side, the only other way to get over there is to swim. And I will kind of do the swim itself right now, just so you guys can kind of take a look at the length of time it will take you to get across. It's not a very long swim, but when you get over here, you are stuck on the back side of the building. It has no direct entrances, and there is no way to kind of mount the wheel to get up over the top. So you will have to walk all the way around the building, and this wraps into that wall that I was referring to before, and you cannot hop this wall unless you have an object to jump on. Alright, next we're going to be taking a look at the approach for E3, and well, this is basically it. The road. And, you know, once you get into the courtyard, you have plenty of cover. You can slowly push around the wall. You can push from that wall into the courtyard. Once you get in the courtyard, you have plenty of cover, and then you just have to get yourselves into the building themselves. Lastly, I want to show off some potential spots for spawn vehicles to help with the assault into E4 itself. Obviously, you have the area around the D4 building where you can conceal it, especially if you control this area, parking on the backside. Now, you could set one along this wall here, but it is going to be visible over the top. What I would suggest instead is if you take this spawn vehicle around the edge here, you can park it in this divot here. That was a wall. You can park it in this little divot here and have it not be able to be seen from the opposing side. And you still can go up over the top if you climb over the roof and hop over the wall. If you are one of the crazy people that just like driving straight onto a point and probably getting everyone in your vehicle killed, you can move a spawn vehicle onto this point. You have to go through this opening right here between the tank trap and the retaining wall. And while there is a lot of area to park, I would suggest if you're going to park here, to park on top of the Panzerfaust themselves. That way they cannot be used against you. And you can park this comfortably in this corner, but there are many, many windows and doors to look down upon you, so it's not the greatest spot to conceal it from anything. What a spawn position like this does provide is quick access to the crossing and the bridge to cut down on the time it takes you to get from the E4 spawn across the river when you are attacking O1. Alright everybody, that was a more in-depth look in-game of some of these changes that were made, and I just have to say, as a little overview of everything, the paint jobs, I love. I will always like new camouflages for people or vehicles. I don't know why. I have a real enjoyment for the Soviet unpainted skin, especially on that M3A1. For some reason, I just think it looks really good. A lot of really good paint jobs for other things. I mean, I still think the IS-2 has one of the best paint jobs with that winter skin, but 2 new paint jobs for basically all those vehicles, not too bad. E4. It's something that we have asked for a long time. And they have done some work on it, obviously. And it is a really nice structure that they've brought in. Multiple levels, multiple rooms, large outdoor areas, lots of cover in different areas. So, I mean, I've played several maps worth of combat in E4 now, and it feels quite good. And I've explored it pretty extensively, and it looks, I think, amazing. Now, over the next couple of weeks, we'll have to see as more matches are played and we toss more things at it. I know I haven't played any matches with tanks around it or something like that yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how tanks affect that area. But so far, it looks pretty good. And I'm sure there are going to be some balance patches and some changes to stuff because there are going to be a couple imbalances one way or another. It always happens like that. But I have to say, I really enjoyed the changes. And more than that, I'm not going to go outright say, this means that they can start making new maps. But they made changes to the land and how it interacts with the river. They brought in a new structure, or an old structure. It reminds me of the structure in the tutorial. It might have been the structure in the tutorial. Whether it is or not, I can't remember. But changes to the way the land affects the river. New structure. And pretty balanced as far as I can see. They're small things, but it does give me hope that in the future TLM might be able to bring us new maps. Now, I don't expect it anytime in the near future, but the fact that they did so much with this has me feeling a little bit more confident of what might be yet to come. There is still a ton of stuff they have left to do. They need to fix the lag warping that came in with the new stamina system like 2 years ago. They need to fix the sound, which is still continuously broken to where you can get run over or stabbed as long as the person's right behind you, and you will never even know that they're there, even if they were riding a rampaging elephant. There are things that need to be fixed. But we've been asking for E4 to be fixed for a long time, and it finally has, well, been. We'll see if it's truly fixed or not. And I have to say, I like it. So, hope for the future. That's what I have. I don't know if that hope will come forward, but I do have a wee bit of hope for the future. All right, everybody. Until the next patch, I hope you have a wonderful time in game. If you enjoyed or disliked this video, I do hope you comment on it and give it a thumbs up or down. If you want to see new videos, please hit the subscribe button, and to be notified of new content when it comes out, hit the notification bell. But for now, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day, and don't forget to bring it no matter what you do. And I will see you guys in the next video.